Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and we're here with more Doom. Now, of course, it is October, the month of All Hallows Eve. Now, I've been having a few minor issues with Doom recently. I've been having a lot of hitching. I finally figured out what the problem was. And apparently Doom, or my graphics card or something, really doesn't like it if you have some kind of file open. It doesn't really matter what it is. It could be some kind of video file with Windows Media Player or a JPEG or something like that. But if you got anything like that running, it won't work. And I have absolutely no clue as to why. It didn't happen earlier, but it happens now for some reason. But, well, we got nothing open, and it's working just fine. Also, one major announcement, or minor announcement, whichever way you want to look at it, I am adding a new hard drive to the computer. Since I've been recording so much more, I'm actually going to add a dedicated footage drive. Now, if you don't know anything about computers other than just to make them go, and you know how to spread the anointed oils on it to make it run, there are different types of hard drives you can buy. Now, this, of course, is if you stick with Western Digital, and I've been a Western Digital fanboy for years. Although, the initial hard drive for the initial gaming computer was a Seagate Barracuda 250 gigabyte. But after that, everything was a Western Digital. Western Digital drives, and I think I've mentioned this in other Let's Plays, but if you haven't heard it, you'll hear it here. There's different colors that you can get. You can get Western Digital Green, which is a basic storage drive. It's the least powerful of the lot, but it's the most energy efficient. I have used a number of those green drives, and I've actually been able to record the fraps onto them as well. And they work pretty good. There's nothing too bad about a Western Digital Green. You got a Western Digital Blue, and I hadn't owned one until just recently. I got a 2 terabyte Western Digital Blue. They seem a little slow, but I guess that's from using Western Digital Blacks a lot. Western Digital Black is the performance drive, and on my own time I found this thing and just had to level up that. All I got was a scope for my rifle, kind of like in real life. Actually, let's see, let's bring the scope out there. Boom! I don't know why you can't just leave it on there, but whatever. Just like in real life, gotta put a scope on one of those things. I'll put a red dot, but whatever the case may be. Let's see, what was I? You got the Western Digital Black. Western Digital Black's a pretty good drive. I have 3 of them now. And they're generally the performance drive. There's 2 different types of Western Digital Black. You got the Western Digital Black Regular, which I have 2 of, and a Western Digital Black Caviar. And the Caviar is supposed to be slightly better, as far as I know. Now, here's where I'm being honest with you guys. When I got the Caviar, I thought it was just a regular Western Digital Black. I didn't know it was a Caviar when I got it. And then when I looked it up, I was like, oh yeah, the Caviar is slightly better. Yay. Oh yeah, man, is she ugly. But then again, I'm kind of like that. She looks very evil, and she's got that Warframe-styled exoskeleton. I do like how the game explains why she needs such a thing. I like all the codex entries in this particular game. And I really like how that 3D model really shows just how heavy that Argent accumulator is. It's just a little tiny detail that I really like. But I'm thinking the caviar isn't working right. I just get the feeling it isn't. I'm not really sure why, because I get some hitching with this game and a few others for some random reason. I don't know. Computers are weird. If you don't, pray to them often enough, they get all squiffy. And if you don't use the right kind of sacred oils and they don't work right, it's just annoying like that. But I'll tell you this though, the Caviar doesn't seem to work any better than the regular Western Digital Black, which leads me to believe there might be some element to it that's a little better, but something that I personally just can't appreciate. So I don't know. I doesn't know, but you know what? I think the thing about the Western Digital Caviar, at the very least, is it's a little quieter than the basic Western Digital Black. Because the Western Digital Black that I have, it's a pretty old one now, but it's really loud whenever it's doing anything. Now when I record with fraps, because one of the things you don't want to do... Now, one of you guys actually had a suggestion that I record onto an external. Now that doesn't really work, but I do appreciate the suggestion anyway. Now you're half right when you say that. You're half right. Whenever you record, like if ever you want to do like Let's Plays or YouTube videos like The Great General, what you want to do... Now back when I started off, I didn't do this, but I know now. that the best way to record, especially games that are high performance like Doom here, what you want to do is you want to always have a game drive and a record drive. So right now, off of the Western Digital Black, I'm trying to remember what it is now. Caviar, there we go. I keep wanting to call it a Barracuda. I don't know why they like fish, but anyway. Western Digital Black Caviar is running the game, and the Western Digital Black Regular is where the recorded footage is going to. Now, you don't really need a black drive to record the footage to. I used a Western Digital Green for years. I recorded a lot on the Western Digital, or the Seagate Barracuda, way back in the day. So yeah. Now, one of the things I did notice with Mizio's computer back in the old good days is she would get some recording lag with Outlast because her game drive, boot drive, and footage drive were all the same thing. It was a Western Digital Black. And that, I think if she'd recorded it to another hard drive, it might have worked. But at the time, did not have a second hard drive, and I don't know if she has another hard drive now. But that's generally the problem, is if you do that. Now, you don't need, like, you really don't need a super amazing hard drive to just record stuff. Now, there might be people who will say that, but they don't know what they're talking about. Because they'll be like, oh, you gotta have the greatest, amazing, most awesome stuff of all time. In my experience, you don't. But then again, that's just in my experience. Now, you do need a good graphics card if you want to record modern games, like Doom here. The GTX 760 works quite well, but, you know, I'm not getting straight 60. I get straight 60 when I play it without recording, but I'm not getting straight 60. And I'm running this at 720p right now. I'm doing that not necessarily because it can't run it at 1080, because it can. But I mainly record this in 720p because it just works better with YouTube, in my experience at least. Yeah, you can these days upload on YouTube with, I think, like, up to 4K now. But you have to have a pretty good internet connection to run that. And so I just don't see the point to cluttering up my storage drive with, like, these massive files. You know, when nobody's really going to be able to watch them in their full uncompressed nature. You know, because, like, yeah, you could have watched something in 4K on your fucking phone. Because I know there's a lot of mobile users who watch, you know, my videos on their phones and stuff like that. So having it in 720p, yeah, it might not look quite as good, but you're never going to get that good of video quality out of YouTube anyway because of its compression bitrate. So it's like 720p takes up less space for me because there's a shitload of videos, you know, on the storage drive. Now, back in the day, I would usually go up to 1080p uncompressed. But that's back when I had a 3 terabyte external that was nothing but storage, which I no longer, well, I still have it, but it doesn't work. It doesn't goddamn work. It died, and I'm hoping I can get the data off of there at some point, but for right now, it does not work. And it was an external that I got on sale, actually. So right now, you know, that's the big concern whenever you do anything YouTube related, is you really, the Jet Theophilus Laboratories folder is like, I think something like 400 gigabytes, and that's all the backed up videos. That's all, actually I delete all the game footage, but that's like all the Let's Play episodes, that's all the old video recordings and stuff like that. You really want to have that there just in case YouTube takes it down or something like that. That's one of the reasons why you won't see that Legend of Christian thing come back, because it was on that 3 terabyte external. That's why I like to have, you know, everything backed up as best as I can. Ironically enough, though, a lot of my backups have ended up dying themselves. Because, like, when I first got back into real PC gaming and real PC user-ing, I guess is what you could call it, how I used to do it, because you gotta remember, ladies and gentlemen, GeneralLotz is not a wealthy man. I do not have access to large amounts of cash. What I have access to is large amounts of human ingenuity and knowing how to make the most of what I have, and most of what I have isn't a lot. So, like some of the early, second hard drive I got was actually out of my grandfather's old computer, which was like a 160 gigabyte hard drive. I don't even remember what brand. I think it was a Hitachi, I think. And I used that. I was like, oh man, extra 160 gigabytes, that's so much! I remember when I got my first 1 terabyte drive, I remember this, it was a 1 terabyte green drive. I thought, man, how could you ever fill that up? Those are the days. Of course, you gotta remember back in the day, like, some of you guys are, like, PC veterans, such as myself, so it's like, remember when you got your first 1 gigabyte drive, or the old 40 gigabyte drive on my Dell, you know, it's like, 40 gigabytes, how could you ever fill that up? It's like so much, nobody ever needs that much. And yet, here we got Doom. Doom is fucking 40 gigabytes, although I believe it was Roadkill who told me that it's that big because it also includes 4K textures, and I don't even have a 4K monitor. You see, for me, whenever I build a computer, I try to build a computer that is cheap but good. You want something that will run video games. That's ultimately what you want. And for me, I know I'm never going to have enough money to get every single thing on my computer that I want. So basically, I do want to be able to run Doom here like in 60 FPS and be able to record it without any problems. And I can do that pretty much right now just with the 760, which a fan donated. But if I were to actually have the money to rebuild it, well, like back a few years ago, when I did do that, I got like a $250 graphics card. And that thing lasted a long-ass time, too. That was a great card. And I probably could have got it fixed, but it's a bit too late now, I suppose. I still have it in a box, but that Asus 7770 was great. I mean, I really enjoyed that little card. Well, it wasn't little, it was massive. I remember when I first got that, I was like, man, it's so big. It's like it takes all these, you know, power connections, because before that, I never had a card that needed that. Because I'd used a Radeon card, I forget what it's called, too, beforehand, and all you needed was just the PCI Express connector. That was it, no extra power. So I guess you could say it was one of those energy-efficient cards. Mizuo's card, I think, was also a PCI Express card. Oh, where it only needed power from that, I think. I can't remember exactly. It was a good little card, too. Like, it was able to run Tomb Raider on Ultra, so that made me very happy. Because trying to build somebody a computer for Christmas is not an easy prospect. That's one thing about Christmas that I think people do get wrong on occasion. It's like, Christmas to me isn't supposed to be commercial, and I got her that for Christmas because that was a good saving goal, and I didn't really expect to do that at all. I had expected to get from Mizuo just a computer monitor and a keyboard for her laptop, and then just the opportunity presented itself to build a computer, and I was able to do it in a very short period of time. And that made me very happy. And I fell all the way down there. Really? I died? Now, I may have to start recording again, because I've been getting some hitching whenever I die and reload back into the game. And you didn't see any beforehand, so I'm not sure what's causing that. I have no clue whatsoever. So I'm wondering, like, what if that is the Caviar drive not working right? Or what if that's the graphics card fucking up? And if it's the graphics card fucking up, I don't even know what to do then. But that's PC. That's the PC for you. You gotta be very good at what you do. You gotta be very smart. And it looks like it's working. So, I don't guess it matters. But, yeah. It's just, for me, Christmas is supposed to be about, you know, a time... Well, okay, from on the commercial aspect of Christmas, you know, buying people, you know, Christmas gifts. Now, I don't believe that you should just, like, bankrupt yourself to do that. But Christmas, as it was always, you know, when I was growing up, was a time where you would save up money to buy something, you know, like saving up to get a Xbox 360. Well, I had to buy my own Xbox 360 because by the time it came out, I was already an adult, but like, it's a time to, you know, save up money, you know, save up to get somebody something, you know. Now, like, if you have plenty of money, you can buy people stuff all year round, but when you don't, you know, you have, like, here is Christmas. It's a time where you know it's going to come at the same time each year, and you know that you can save up throughout the year to get them something. And that's generally how I see the commercial aspect of Christmas. It's just a convenient time to save up money, because it's at the very end of the year, you know, and things of that nature. Now, like, if you, like, go bankrupt trying to buy people Christmas presents, well, that's pretty stupid, but to me, it's like, you have no one to blame but yourself, you know? You know how much money you have, you know how much money you can spend, and really, to me, when it comes to Christmas, the actual physical object is not the most important thing. The most important thing is, well, it's what it is, but it also what it means to the other person. Because, like, if someone were to get me... I'm trying to think of something that would be really bad. Like a trying to think of something really bad that won't be horribly annoying. Okay, let's say somebody got me a... actually, I probably like that. A My Little Pony figure. There we go. Somebody got me a My Little Pony figurine. Now, everybody who knows me would know I don't like My Little Pony. So you could spend $3,000 on a My Little Pony statue, and I still wouldn't like it. But if you spent $5 on a little Doom Guy figure, I'd be like, thanks for giving me the Doom Guy figure, because I like Doom. It really... The monetary aspect of a present shouldn't matter at all, because it's just money. It's the thought that really does count. And really, it's showing that you know the other person. Shit, kill him. I shall take your health, sir. Throw a grenade. I love the healing grenade. It's so bad. But yeah, the money aspect of any present is the least important. It's how much thought did you, the buyer, put into it? You know, did you actually buy somebody something that they would actually like? That's just what you got to keep in mind. And sometimes, you know, you can get lucky and like you might just like, okay, they might like that. And it's like, hey, thanks for that. You know, or it could be like that one time my grandparents got a, I shit you not, an elephant head, like a little. I'm not sure what that's made out of. Porcelain, something like that. A little ornamentary elephant head to put on the wall. Although it's still up there. It's still up there. I mean, half the time I forget it's even there because like it's all the way up on the wall, so you can't. You can see it if you know where to look, and it's big too. But I guess since I've seen it so many times, like who cares? But it's like that. It's like if you were to buy me an elephant's head, it's like thanks. Or if you spent like $1 and got me a movie poster, I'd be happy. You know. Well, it depends on the movie poster. I guess if it was like Twilight, I'd be like, thanks. I could put it in the background of the video just for a ironic nature. But that's the thing. When it comes to getting people presents, I try to get them something that they would really want. Like, and it doesn't even have to be that much. You don't even really have to spend that much money. But I don't know why I started talking about Christmas, but well, Christmas and Halloween are two of my favorite holidays of the year. You know, because like Halloween, you can dress up and things of that nature. Because I do like cosplay. And that's effectively what Halloween is, just cheap cosplay. And I really do like Christmas just because you get to like, I guess you can build stuff, but you get to decorate. It's only the beginning. You know, you probably shouldn't be, you know, consorting with chaos. Because like with the federal government, they don't really give you what you want in the end. Oh! Sick politics burn. But anyway. Okay, here's something funny about this. Okay, when I played this back on the GTX 460, oh man, I got about 20 frames. And if I look in a certain area, even with the 760 here, it'll tank to like 20 frames. Although, one thing that's really sad is towards the end of the game, in only one level too, the Vega level, I had to turn this down to medium to even get a playable frame rate. I don't understand it. I don't know what is with that level. Maybe by the time we get to there, there'll be like a upgrade, or not upgrade, but a patch. Patches. Patches the hyena? No. Patches regular. Patches, you know, it's funny. We really do take those things for granted these days, you know. It's like the game doesn't work, and the developers will sometimes fix it. You know, because like back in the day, you just wouldn't know. You just wouldn't know back in the day. And sometimes patches don't even work, you know, sometimes they nerf the wrong things, or sometimes they make it even worse. So it's hard to say one way or the other. I remember, going back to Halloween though, I always have liked to dress up for Halloween ever since I was a kid, which is why I really like cosplay, but just don't ever get a chance to do it. But I've gone as so many different things throughout the years. Went as Spider-Man one year, because I was once and still am a big fan of Spider-Man. Except, they've not done Spider-Man right since Spider-Man the Animated Series, to be perfectly honest. Whoa! Explosion that I've been waiting for! Alright, well that was Argent Tower. And I am GeneralLotz, wishing you good Christmas, good Halloween, or whatever makes you happy.